I'm Rom.
Welcome back to the One Piece versus 4K podcast, where we compare the One Piece 4Kids anime to the Funimation dub, sub, and throw in comparisons to the manga. So, we are back today for episode 4 of the One Piece anime. Uh, yeah, we'll
I
get.
think we're in episode 5.
Is that what I said?
No, you said episode 4.
Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind today. Yes, we are back today with episode 5. I had episode 5 on my brain, but I was staring at the YouTube upload for episode 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
we're back with episode 5 today. We're gonna get into that in a second. But before that, I just want to know what's been going on with you, Rom.
I mean, it's just like I think I'm starting to kind of like stay more at my condo now, so it's like I'm starting to slowly get back into the swing of things here. I'm also trying the couch to 5K thing. I have one set of shoes that I'm using right now, but like those shoes when I ran with them before, like they were really kind of like hurting my foot. And one of my buddies told me that like I need to get fitted shoes. And so I finally went to the one of the running stores and got a fitted shoe. And I just need to go actually buy it now. So it's like I have it. I have the exact shoe that I want to use. I just have to go buy it. So yeah, once I buy that, I'm gonna start doing the couch to 5K thing.
And what does that entail? Running in at home,
I
outside?
mean, it's running outside. Like
Oh,
I have like a trail like literally 5 minutes from my condo that I can go out and run in. So I'm gonna start to do the couch to 5K thing from there. It's I think the first few days it's pretty easy. It's like only a minute of running and like 60 minutes of like walking or something. I think like the first week it's not too much running. It's to kind of slowly ramp you up to kind of run or not run or jog for like a continuous 30 minutes. Like when I used to run 5K in the past, it was like I would straight up start jogging. I would try to like make myself patient when I would jog, not to like make myself run too fast and crash early. So I try to like pace myself like on how fast I jog and stuff, like or run. And then I still find myself once I reach that 1.5 mile marker, I would be like, all right, I'm gonna walk a little bit. And then I would end up walking, and I was thinking like, all right, let me just walk for like half a mile, and then I'll start like running the remaining mile. And then I ended up just like kind of walking the remaining mile and a half. So they say that like this couch to 5K should kind of like train me up to run consistently for 30 minutes, which is usually what it takes to run a 5K. So yeah, I'm kind of like going to start that. I think this plan is supposed to be like a 2 month plan. I think it's either like 6 to 8 weeks or something. So yeah,
nice.
that's what I'm kind of starting. What about you? What's been going on?
Uh, been enjoying this long weekend. I've been working so hard. I didn't even know we had today off. Uh,
Yeah.
I was someone in a meeting on Friday had said, "Oh yeah, just a reminder, we're off on Monday." And I had said, "Oh wow, thanks for bringing that up. I seriously didn't know. I don't even really know what day it is at this point." Uh,
Yeah.
and people thought I was joking, but I was serious. Like if no one had said anything, I would have just worked today, and I would have been wondering where the hell everyone was and why everyone was ignoring me. But
Oh man.
yeah, I'm really glad that and it was not even someone on my team that brought it up. It was someone else. So thank goodness we had a meeting. Because
I
like
think you
also
need
we
to
weren't
take
even
a
supposed to have that meeting. It was like a one-off thing.
Ooh, wow. So it was like a real close call.
Yeah.
Dude,
Um.
yeah. I think you need to take like a 4 day weekend or something.
Hey, at least I got one. Well, I got. Yeah, I guess kind of. No, it's more like a 3 day. Yeah, I need to take a break. I'm looking forward to 4th of July. I'm gonna take like maybe 2 days off then. Uh, but yeah, I desperately need some time off. Um,
Yeah, I think 5 day weekend, just kind of like, yeah,
yeah, I'll
take some.
probably do it then. But yeah, other than that, I just been sitting inside. Didn't really play much video games. I did start playing more NBA Live 2003 for the PlayStation 1. Oh, sorry, 2002. Um, why did I start playing that? Because I was, I guess, kind of in the mood to play a basketball game after binging through The Last Dance this
Oh,
weekend.
okay, 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 okay.
Yeah.
What'd you think about The Last Dance?
Did you watch it yet?
I haven't watched it yet. I've been meaning to watch it. Like, I've heard I kind of heard of several things about that show. Like, some people, like, so a lot of people did enjoy it. Like, a lot of people really enjoyed that kind of like insight into that team and everything. But I think like some of the former team members, in that Bulls team, like they're it's starting to like they're kind of starting to come out saying, hey, it's not, this isn't, or no, they're just kind of saying, hey, this isn't, like, this part isn't true. But so the NBA subreddit, someone actually posted about how, like, hey, this documentary, it's fine, it's great. It didn't really hide anything. It showed stuff for what it is. But they also mentioned that it was a little biased, but it's like it's not like they were hiding stuff, but the way they were presenting stuff was shown in a similar manner. But I am gonna watch it. Is it on Netflix or where is it?
It's not on Netflix. It's on Netflix in different countries. But it was on ESPN. I had just watched it on like, I guess, if you have, do you have YouTube TV
Yeah,
still? Yeah, it's
yeah,
on
yeah.
there. It's on
Okay,
it,
okay,
it's
okay.
in the on demand for ESPN.
Okay, okay, okay. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's good. I, as someone who doesn't even watch sports hardly ever, I really enjoyed it. It was good. And then after, I mean, they actually went. They actually talked a lot more about. I mean, it was mainly about Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. They talked a lot more about Dennis Rodman than I thought they would have.
Wonder if they ever
Uh,
touched his thing with North Korea in that
no,
show.
they didn't. They didn't touch that
Okay.
part. But obviously they did in his 30 for 30. I watched that right after.
Okay, 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 okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Yeah, it's definitely like something in my like watch list that I have to on stuff I need to watch.
Yeah, it was really good. Even my wife enjoyed it. Um, yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then felt like playing a basketball game. I had to continue playing the team, my dream team I made up on NBA Live 2002 with Gilbert Arenas and
Yeah, that's
Michael
why.
Jordan.
Yeah, I was gonna ask like, wait, does it have Gilbertina? It's like, okay. And you're playing as a wizard, I'm thinking?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
I was
okay.
just pissed. Uh, Man, apparent. I didn't. I guess since he had come, I was gonna put Dennis Rodman on my team, but he was not in the game. Technically, he could have been in the game, but like it was right off at the, probably, how he joined the Timberwolves, like for like barely any of that season. I think of like the end of 2001 or something, or it was either 2001 or 2002.
Okay. I
Anyways,
never
he
knew this,
probably
but yeah.
was. Oh well, he was in it for like very very short amount of time. He was probably in it so short that they didn't even bother putting him in the game. Um, because I think he came in like in the middle of the season, so they probably wouldn't have even known when they were making the game.
Hmm.
But yeah, he was not in the game at all, so I couldn't draft him. And then yeah.
Okay,
Anyways,
okay, okay, okay.
this is I'm sorry guys, this is a anime podcast. You guys are probably instantly pissed we're talking about sports. I
Yeah.
believe this will probably be the only time I ever mention sports on this podcast.
We'll
and,
see. I
and
mean,
until
I
The
mean,
Last Dance 2 comes out, that talks about Michael Jordan on the greatest team of all time, the Wizards.
yeah. I mean, like so. I think Tom Brady is gonna get like a documentary. Apparently, they're making one right now. I
Yeah,
think
I'm not
Lance
going to be
Armstrong.
watching that.
Yeah. I guess anime and manga related though. Like, we finally got like a new chapter in the manga in the Wano arc this week. Like, the schedule's kind of so messed up because of everything that's going on. I mean, it's a good schedule, but it's like it's gonna be weird because like before everything happened, the way it was that there'd usually be like a break each month, like just one break each month. So it's like there'd be a chapter coming in every weekend, and like every Sunday we would get like a new chapter, and then one I think it's like once a month they would take a break, and it's something that's needed because apparently Ichiro Oda, who's the creator of One Piece, he apparently used to be like, I guess he's kind of still is like he's like a huge workaholic, and like like it was deteriorating his health or something that like they had to force him to take vacations or something. So now it's like they release now before all of this they were releasing at a pace of like I think every month they would take one break, I guess, to kind of like make sure like he's like all good and stuff. But with this pandemic, it's like um he takes a break. Actually, there's like a break every other week, so it's like one week they'll release a chapter, and then the next chapter will come 2 weeks later, and the next chapter will come 2 weeks later. And part of the reason they have this break is because yeah, it's just there's so much that goes on into like uh it's not just like drawing the chapters, but it's like he has to give it to like some of the editors, take in their inputs and stuff. There's actually this YouTube video. I might have mentioned it in one of the other episodes. I'm not really sure. So there's this guy, there's this YouTuber. His uh, his name is Paolo in Tokyo. I think that's the name of the YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I've seen that guy.
Yeah, he does a day in the life of a mangaka, and in that in that um in that episode, yeah, he kind of goes. They kind of talk about all the stuff that like the creator, I guess, like the main creator of that of whatever manga he was working on, how they are. So yeah, they do have assistants and stuff who draw certain panels, certain pages and stuff. But it's like there's so much else going on behind it that it's like I can see why that like every chapter happens every 2 weeks or something, as they try to like kind of ramp up and get back into the swing of things. The anime is still on hiatus, but like they already said that like they're kind of in the works to kind of bring it back eventually. Which I mean I wasn't really I didn't really think that they would wait too long anyways because it's like it's a huge manga with a huge it's a huge anime with a huge following that like yeah I think that they would bring back the anime pretty soon. So I'm not really too worried about the anime stopping. It might not come at the pace that it was coming out, which is every week. It might come again like the manga where it's like every other week or something because the voice actors they have to voice act for multiple shows. So, but it's fine. It's good for what it is. For the
Yeah.
situation that we're in, it's like it's good.
Uh, all right. Well, I guess we'll get right into this episode.
Okay.
Um, I actually just watched it tonight. I Everything's starting to be like deja vu for me now. Just I feel like I'm just like every Sunday at the same exact time I'm watching it and everything. I just decided to
Dude,
put it
I,
on a
I think what
different
you
day.
should yeah, I think what you should do is like maybe like wake up at like four like on a couple of days, just wake up at like 4 or 5 a.m. when like no one is out in the street or something and just go for like a walk in the park or something.
Yeah, I might do that eventually. That would be nice.
Yeah. I think
Um,
yeah, just get some fresh air and like
yeah, I mean, I do get out. I do like take a walk like during the afternoon sometimes, just in my
yeah.
neighborhood. I can walk around a good bit.
Yeah,
Um,
and like, if it's around your neighborhood, I don't think
yeah, I think it's fine,
yeah.
relatively fine. Yeah. So yeah, I've been doing that from time to time. But yeah, back to the episode. It's yeah, we're at episode 5. My episode was called "The Circus Comes to Town."
Oh, okay. My episode title was a little different.
Yeah, what was it
It
on your end?
On my end, it's a terrifying, mysterious power, Captain Buggy, the clown pirate.
Got it. All right. So starting off, the episode opens up basically from the cliffhanger from last episode. But now we see that that redhead girl asks Luffy what happened. He tells him, tells her what happened. She says to him, the henchmen are standing there in between the two, and she says, "Boss, you came to rescue me," and then just like runs off. Um, and then the henchmen of Buggy say, "Oh, it's he's her boss, so let's fight him instead." And Luffy ends up taking them out with the Gum Gum Blast move, and then the redhead girl watches from above as he beats them up, and then she basically tells Luffy that her name is Nami and that she specializes in beating pirates, and that he should join her team. Uh, Luffy then just like falls on the ground because he's so hungry, and then she suggests that they go get a bite to eat. Next scene, we see Buggy, and he's pissed and he's yelling at the henchmen that they had gotten away. Buggy asks how he could let the map of the Grand Line get stolen just before they were about to sail off to get the treasure. The henchman says, uh, "This is the weirdest part to me. Like trying to understand like what the hell was going on. Like I don't know. It was like so the henchman says that the key to the map room got left in the locker, and only the robber knows where it is. But then
Hmm.
Buggy thinks that he's like making fun of his rubber nose for some reason.
Mm,
And then Buggy asks him if his nose looks fake, and the henchman says, "No, that's not true. It was a mistake." And then Buggy says, "Oh, what you're saying, it looks like a steak?" And
mm,
the clown, and then Buggy gets all pissed off and like just chokes him by like looking at him basically, and he almost
mm,
kills him, and then he decides to just spare him, and then he storms out and says, "Don't let them lose again," to his henchmen, "Don't lose." And then the next scene we see Luffy and Nami. Luffy is eating a hamburger. um, she reveals that she can't steal from innocent people, but she needs money, 100 million fairies is what she says. Um,
mm,
then she says, but it's no worries because with the map that she stole, she'll be able to get plenty of money. And Luffy realizes that she's a navigator and asks her to join his crew. But she says they get to talking, and she says, "Oh well, you're a pirate. There's no way I'm going to join a pirate. The only thing," she's like, "that's the thing I hate the most. The only thing I really like is money and tangerines." Um, then Nami agrees to join Luffy under one condition: if he comes with her to see Captain Buggy. And then all of a sudden she ties him up, and then the next scene we see Luffy being carried in, and Nami drops him off at Buggy's feet along with the map. Buggy then says, "Oh, you must have had a change of heart. Why have you?" And Nami says that, her and her boss had a disagreement. And then she asks if she can team up with him instead. Then Luffy learns that Buggy had taken the cursed fruit. And at the same time, Buggy agrees to take Nami aboard. And she says, in her like an internal dialogue, that she's going to steal the map and gold later, um, when they pass out from drinking some grapefruit juice. So they're like passing around some juice out of bottles. Um, and as he's, getting quote unquote drunk off the grapefruit juice, uh, he tells his crew to load up the buggy balls, and they load in these like big red balls into a cannon, and uh, Buggy has his men shoot it. The ball shoots and explodes like a part of the town that they're in. And it cuts to Zolo, and he's with the crew, Buggy's crew that he had, tied up. And they see it from a few miles away, and Zolo asks them, "What in the world is that?" And they tell him that it's the Buggy balls, and he kind of smirks. And then Buggy says, thanks to the cursed fruit, his buggy and his in the buggy balls that he will soon rule the Grand Line. Then Luffy screams from his cage that he will rule the Grand Line. Nami expresses that she hates him and that he's a wimp. And Buggy asks her to blow up Luffy with the buggy ball to prove her worth. As and she's really hesitant to light it up because she doesn't really want to kill him, and her hands are kind of shaking. And Luffy says, "Maybe you don't hate pirates as much as you say so." And then another pirate shows her how to light the cannon. As as he's lighting the cannon, she pulls out this extending stick thing and knocks him over the head. Um, Buggy screams that she has betrayed him, and then Nami says that she will never become a pirate because they took something away from her. And at the same time, the cannon is lit and it's about to blow. Um, she beats up a couple more pirates and stops the wicks with her bare hands, um, so it doesn't blow up Luffy. And as she's doing it, some of Buggy's crew leap at her, um, and all of a sudden Zolo shows up and attacks them with his sword, but you don't really see much. It like cuts away. And then Zolo expresses that they are all pathetic for going after one girl. And he asks Nami if she's all right, but he asks her by name, which I thought was weird. Um, because later on, she's like, "Oh, you're Zolo," but doesn't really, she doesn't like really know him. At least in the way that she expresses it, like she hadn't met him before. She just knows of him. And then Luffy yells at Zolo to let him out. Buggy then realizes that it is Zolo, and he decides that he can capture him for a bounty. And then when then you see Buggy and Zolo fight, and you see the shadow of Buggy getting knocked out, um, and you see like a limb chopped off, like within the shadow. And then we realized that he had
Mhm.
hit, that the limbs that he had hit are coming back to life. And you see Buggy's sword floating in midair, and it stabs Zolo in the back. You don't really see it like actually stabbing him in the back, like in detail. There's no blood or anything. Um, then Buggy says that he ate the chop chop cursed fruit and that he will whop and chop him, but he can't stop him. Zolo is then disappointed that Buggy caught him off guard. And while Luffy is pissed that Buggy had stabbed him in the back and calls him a big nose, Buggy's like extremely pissed, throws a sword at Luffy and like through the cage. And then Luffy is telling Zolo to, go and run away and light the cannon. And Zolo runs towards the cannon, flips it over, lights it, and we see the buggy ball flying out. Um, and I guess it's actually Nami that lights the cannon, but we see the ball like flying out, and then as it's coming towards Luffy, we see him laughing, and then the episode just ends right there.
Okay, cool. I'm kind of surprised that like 1 second. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that like they included so much. I mean, they did censor certain parts, which I guess I'll kind of like get to when I kind of describe. But I think it is kind of like I guess like they're trying to slowly not censor it too much, but they still like censored a pretty good amount, but I guess
Yeah,
it's all right. I mean,
I still get the impression at first it wasn't there. There might not have been much to censor, or they might have been trying to stay true, but maybe later on it just really veers off path.
yeah, yeah, and like the pirates that Luffy fought at the beginning, did they have swords?
uh, I think they did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Okay. Yeah, I guess like so. I guess I'll kind of say what happened in the Funimation dub, the manga. So yeah, I guess so. The title of the episode for me, I think, as I mentioned earlier, it's a terrifying, mysterious power, Captain Buggy, the Clown Pirate, and and in the manga, it's chapter 9 and chapter 10 in the manga. So for that. And I'll kind of like say some of the differences that I saw. So maybe some censorship that we saw in the anime that was like some stuff that was censored in the anime that was actually in the manga. I'll kind of mention those too. So yeah, similar to what you said. Basically, at the start of the episode, kind of pick off from where we left off in the previous episode, where Luffy kind of like falls to the ground and he's like, "What just happened to me was awesome," and like then, and like the girl, she just kind of like looks at Luffy and says, "Hey, thanks, boss. These are the guys. Can you take care of them?" And then she runs away. And then as she's running away, the guys are like, "Hey, we're letting her get away." And then one of the other guys is like, "It's all right. We have her, boss." And then he's like, "Hey, it's not good that your crew member left you for dead or something." And then we see, and then one of the guys knocks off Luffy's hat, and Luffy says, "Hey, don't touch the hat," and he just like gives them like smacks both of them in the face, and then yeah, they both get knocked out. And then Nami's like, I wonder if they killed that poor guy or something. It's too bad he was in the wrong place at the wrong time." But when she looks over the roof, she sees that, oh, he knocked him out. And she's like, "Hey, you're pretty strong." And she kind of says, "Hey, do you want to partner up? We can split the loot and stuff." And he's like, "No, I'm not interested." And then he kind of then like his stomach kind of growls, and he's like, "Man, I'm hungry." And so then they before it gets taken to the place where they're about to eat, like you get shifted to Buggy, where yeah, you see this one guy, Buggy the clown, and like he's like just angry at his crew members that they couldn't catch the thief and stuff. And then it's like it's even bad that the map even got stolen. And one of the guys, he was just trying to explain that like the robber must have like just taken the key and like opened up the safe to get the map or something. And then because similar to what you said, like yeah, he mentioned something about a rubber, and he's like, did you say rubber nose?" Because because it's rubber nose and stuff. And then he starts kind of like starts to choke him. And then so there is a bit of a censorship here. So in the anime, it's like he starts to choke him a little bit, and then he finally like just kind of like lets him go and like just tosses him away. But in the manga, he actually just says, "Hey man, let's blow this guy to pieces." And then you don't see him get blown to pieces, but it's like uh they kind of like throw him off on the side, and you see a big cannon explosion. So in the manga, it's like they do like kind of blow him to pieces with the cannon. It's just like a normal cannon. And then we
Okay,
shift back
that's
to
okay. But
yeah.
okay, that's oh, so I wonder if it's supposed to be, so he, I mean, without spoiling anything, in your
Mhm.
episode, he just like chokes them with like he's not actually even he doesn't have his hand around him, does he?
Well, so when he chokes him in this scene, you just see the guy getting choked, and then he's like levitating in the air. You don't really know what's happening yet, which I'll kind of get to a little later on. But it's like he's just kind of like holding him up in the air. And in the anime,
But
like in the
he's like holding him up in the air with nothing, right?
Yeah, basically, it looks like there's like nothing. He's just kind of levitating, choking, like a
Okay.
Darth Vader
Yeah,
chokehold
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Okay, got it. Same thing then.
And yeah. And then so in the anime, he just like kind of tosses him to the side, saying whatever.
Uh-huh.
And but in the manga, he actually does like
But he shoots him
you
with the
don't.
cannon.
Yeah, he shoots him with the cannon. You don't know what actually like the bloody aspects of it. You don't really get that, but it's just like a cannon shoots off. So I guess it's kind of implied that he actually did kind of like shoot him with the cannon.
So weird that it's like totally different.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so yeah, basically he shoots him off with the cannon. I'm sorry, but yeah. So now like we shift back to the house where like Luffy is, and then that's where like Nami formally kind of like introduces. Well, like Nami kind of introduces herself as Nami back when like she asks Luffy to kind of like team up with him, and
Hmm.
he says no. Um, but yeah, so now they're back in the house. Luffy's eating like a hamburger, and then, so in the anime, and then there's like a slight difference here too. So in the anime, Nami just says like she's close to 100 million berries and she's saving it up for a secret thing. And he's like, "What do you need for 100 million berries?" She's like, "It's a secret." And then, and
Okay, so
then,
it is berries. I couldn't understand what she was saying.
yeah. It's 100 million berries. And then like, then when she says that she's gonna go across the Grand Line, Luffy asks her, "Hey, are you a navigator?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm a really great navigator and stuff." And he's like, "Hey, why don't you join my crew?" And then she's like, "No." So I'm guessing you're a pirate. He's like, "Yep." And um, and then I think one of the differences between the manga and the anime is that so in the manga she doesn't just leave it at I'm trying to save 100 million berries or something. She says that she is trying to save 100 million berries to buy a town, and
Oh,
that's a secret. So, and this is actually something that's referenced kind of later on, but yeah, it's just kind of like one small thing that it's mentioned in the manga, but they don't mention it in the animes because I guess like they're trying to save it for a later
yeah.
episode. But I'm sure by the time we get to that episode, you'll probably forget that I said this. But
No, that's
you know,
fine. I think
yeah,
we should go like if something says it in the manga that's a spoiler, that's fine.
I mean,
If
like,
it's different dialogue, I say it's fine. It's not gonna like ruin anything.
yeah, like I guess like what I'll do is with the manga and the anime because there is like one thing that happened in the manga already that hasn't happened in the anime, and it's not going to happen in the anime for like a while.
Yeah,
Is
that
one of
might
the
make sense to
flashbacks?
pit it
Yeah,
off maybe. But if it's some
yeah.
small thing, then yeah, no big deal.
Yeah. So yeah, it's basically that so in the manga she actually says that, "Hey, I'm actually saving this for that." And like, she kind of inquires Luffy on why the straw hat is so important to him. He's like, "It's his," and Luffy says, "It's my treasure." And she's like, "Hey, does it have like a map inside it or some jewels inside or something?" He's like, "It's just my treasure." And he explains that it's his treasure because a man, I mean, as we found out last episode, like a man that he like respects and looks up to gave it to him, and our friend gave it to him, and he said he's going to become a great pirate thanks to that. So but Nami's like, I hate pirates. I hate pirates. But yeah, it's kind of revealed that like, yeah, she only steals from pirates. She doesn't actually live there. She says all the town people ran away scared once Buggy's crew took over the town, and then she's just kind of just been staying there. And he's like, all right. And so then Nami's like, I'll join your crew if you do this one thing for me. She's like, yeah, sure, I'll do anything. And then she ties him up in a rope and she takes him to Buggy. And the thing is, in the manga, she then what happens in the manga is that they're actually walking towards the tavern that they're in, and she actually says, "Hey, you just have to do this one thing for me." And they're like, "We need to go see Buggy." He's like, "Sure, let's go." And then she kind of points him to the tavern, and as he's walking, she actually comes from behind and like wraps him up in a rope. She initially says, "Oh, I just like carrying a lot of rope," but yeah, she wraps him up in a rope, and he's like, "You tricked me," or something. And so yeah, basically a lot of similarities with the anime and the manga now is that so she basically takes him to Buggy, and then she tells Buggy, "Hey, Buggy, I have a lot of issues with my former boss, so I've captured him, got the map. I want to join your crew. Oh, you want to join my crew?" And so then they tie up Luffy, throw him in a cage, and he's like, "What's your name?" She's like, "My name is Nami," and then they said, "All right," and then Buggy's like, "All right, fellas, let's celebrate our new crew member and the map of the Grand Line." And they start partying with a lot of like booze and stuff, a lot of drinks. And there's a bit of censorship here too, because like so there when they're starting to party, like Nami's like, "Man, these pirates are like so dumb and easy or whatever." In the manga, yeah, it actually kind of goes into details of the party. So like they're throwing a party for getting Nami and the map of the Grand Line, and then one of the members challenges Nami to a drinking competitions, and she easily wins that competition. She usually wins the drinking competition. So she's like, "Man, pirates are so easy and stuff." And then Buggy's like, "Hey, let me show you a Buggy Ball." And then he blasts Buggy Ball um, off the cannon, and it blows up like all these buildings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of switch to Zoro, and he's like, "Man, what was that explosion?" And then the guys he captured, they're like, "Oh, it's our Captain Buggy's Buggy Ball. It's very destructive." He's like, "Wow." And then basically, like Buggy basically says in the manga, Nami tells Luffy that like that she thinks Buggy will probably like sell him off to someone or something. Um, in the anime, it's just like they're just kind of like talking. She doesn't mention this, but basically Buggy tells her, "Hey, as a like a thing of loyalty, as a sign of loyalty, aim this cannon at your boss and kill him, blast him into pieces or something." And she's like, and she's kind of thrown off, and then she says, and she's kind of shaking, and then Luffy's like, your hands are shaking. That's what you get for not being prepared to go against pirates, especially those who are willing to like risk their lives or something, or something to do with that aspect. And then as she's kind of hesitating to shoot the cannon, one of the other crew members is like, "Hey, quit teasing," and he lights the thing. And as he's like about to light it, Nami takes out her stick and like smashes him away. And then Luffy's like, "Oh, so you are gonna help me, or so you are nice after all," something to that extent. And then she's like, "No, I'm nothing like you, dirty pirates, or like murderous pirates or something." And then Buggy's like, uh, "What do you mean, dirty? Like, is that what you think of us?" And then Buggy has like, then we kind of noticed that like the fuse has been lit, and then some of the pirate members start attacking Buggy and like start attacking Nami, and she kind of fights them off, and she basically runs towards it and stops the flame from the cannon that's attached to the cannon that's about to fire. She stops it with her hand, and Luffy's like, "Hey, look out behind you!" And then you see like a lot of Buggy pirates coming in, and then fortunately Zoro kind of comes in at the last moment and like stops all of them. And he's like, "Are you all right?" And he's like, "All these guys just to take out one girl and stuff." And then yeah, so then Zoro goes ahead and kind of beats him up and stuff, and then everybody notices that, "Oh, this is Pirate Hunter Zoro," and then Buggy's like, "Hey, are you here to take my head?" He's like, "I'm not interested in you. I gave up pirate hunting." And he walks, and as he's like walking away towards Luffy, he's like, "Luffy, know, how do you keep getting yourself into this mess? You first got stuck with that bird's mouth, now you're stuck in a cage." And then Buggy's like, "You may not be interested in me, but I'm interested in you. Killing you uh, might raise my profile a little bit." And basically, Zoro's like, "Well, you better be careful or something, or you don't want to fight me or something." And he's like, "Well, actually," Buggy's like, "Yeah, actually, I do." And he's like, "All right, you asked for it." And then they engage in a fight where Zoro chops off like Buggy's body parts, and you see like his body parts kind of like scattered around. And he's like, "I told you." And Luffy's like, "Man, this guy is weak and stuff." And then everyone is kind of like snickering and laughing and stuff. And then Zoro's like, "What are you guys like snickering and laughing for?" And then you see Buggy's head kind of just floating, and then you see and then the next thing you see is like uh, Zoro gets stabbed, and then you see like his a knife getting stabbed through him all the way, kind of pierces all the way to that. So you see like the edge of the knife on the other side. So yeah, you actually do see like the knife actually stab him in the back all the way through.
Yeah, I
And
expected that.
yeah, and there's like blood and stuff. And then Luffy's like, "Hey, stabbing him in the back is not a cool move, big nose." And Buggy's sensitive about his nose and stuff. So everybody's like, "Well, you idiot," and stuff. And then Luffy basically tells, "Hey, Zoro." And then I guess like subconsciously he realizes what they have to do, so he starts running, basically running towards. He basically like fights Buggy to kind of corner him towards his like crew or something. He kind of fights, and then as Buggy was talking, he runs towards the cannon, and then he lifts the cannon and drops it on the other side, and then Buggy and everybody's scared and stuff. They're like, "Hey, don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it!" And then Nami lights the fuse, and then it blows up, and then end of scene, basically.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's how basically this episode ends. So yeah, I guess one thing is that like it is a little more graphic. They do actually show Buggy's like limbs like just like falling down, like all his like cut out limbs actually falling on the floor. We actually do see his like limbs, his hands, his legs, parts that have been cut off in pieces and stuff. I
Is
did
there any
forget to
blood
mention.
though?
Yeah, in the stab wound that Zoro got
No, I mean like, is there any blood from Buggies?
from like when Buggy got chopped up. No.
Yeah.
Actually, one thing I forgot to mention was that like Buggy mentions as he's like lifting up, he's like, "I ate the chop fruit."
Okay.
And basically the chop fruit makes me like invincible to blade attacks. I can't be killed by getting cut up or something. So he actually
Yeah, I
does
mean
mention that. I forgot to mention.
you see him cut up in the Four Kids dub, but I mean there's like no blood. It just looks like, honestly, it just looks like the way it looks. It's like, I don't know. It just looks so weird. It's like a paper almost, like cut up
Yeah,
paper.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. There is no blood.
Yeah.
It's because the way the chop fruit is, like, since he can just get cut up a lot of
Yeah.
times,
Okay, that
it's
makes sense.
like blood's not getting spilled. So yeah, because of that, like yeah, I mean, because he's cut up like that, like yeah, there is no blood. But uh in the Funimation dub, like yeah, you do see blood on Zoro's like kind of like his his pack that he has around his waist. You do see
Got it.
blood in that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't even see it. Like, do you see it stab him or no?
You don't see it stab him. You just all of a sudden you hear like like a stab, like you see his reaction, like he says like and then it's that noise
Hmm.
that plays when the person gets stabbed,
Yeah.
and then you see him kind of just like you know react to getting stabbed, and then you look down and then you see the edge of the knife kind of sticking out of his like side of his stomach where it's kind of stabbed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Does now does Nami mention that she likes tangerines?
Yeah, she mentions that she only likes money and tangerines. She
Okay.
kind of later mentions actually, yeah,
I'm
one
sure
other thing I
that's
mentioned
something
was
that happens later.
yeah. She
That's just
basically
really bizarre.
yeah, like when she's kind of like talked about how she doesn't want to kill Luffy because she doesn't want to uh if she doesn't kill him, Buggy Pirates will kill him. If she does kill him, she'll be no better than the pirates. And she mentions that she doesn't like pirates because they took someone dear to her, and then Luffy's like, "Oh, that's why you hate pirates," or something. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, there is like a bit of censorship between the manga and the anime. It's something that we kind of see all throughout. Like even like I think it's the third episode where the Marines, like, I kind of mentioned that in the manga, like the Marines were pointing the gun at themselves, but in the anime, you don't really see that. So it's like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. Interesting.
But yeah, so I guess yeah, there's that censorship with 4 kids because of the whole since you don't see blood on Zoro, I guess. I'm guessing you don't see the knife sticking out of his stomach too.
No, yeah, you don't.
Okay, 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 okay.
Yeah,
But
that whole scene to me with when they were saying like where he was mixing up with robbers and steak, it was just so freaking confusing. And I don't know, like the voice actor for the pirate that was talking to him, like you couldn't, at least in the 4 kids dub, it was weird too because like the way he was talking, you couldn't even understand like what he was saying anyways.
yeah, yeah, it's kind of weird, but yeah, it's like
Was
yeah,
it
he
kind of like
somehow
that in the
missed.
Funimation dub too, where like you couldn't really hear that he was actually saying that, or
I think he mentions some word related to nose, and then Buggy mishears that as like making fun of his like nose or something. Like he's not talking about like his actual, but it's just
yeah,
Buggy hears stuff or something like that. It's only Luffy that outwardly calls him Big Nose. Like he's the only
yeah,
one who
got it.
actually like calls him Big Nose. But yeah,
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know. It was hard to follow along. I imagine it. I'm for some odd reason I imagine that played way better in like the Japanese language.
yeah,
They
yeah.
probably said a word that was really that's always like mistakenly done. Like no one. It's just like no one ever mistakes the word robbers for rubber.
Yeah, yeah. It is probably something different. I didn't get
Or
to.
and also like no one hardly ever, I don't think, unless you're like really deaf, you mistake the word mistake for steak.
Yeah, dude, like this is actually like something that is really kind of like so there's this one character that the Funimation never sorry, 4 kids never gets to. And in this one scene, and this is like far in the future. So this guy, he's like a pervert basically. I don't know how he's a pervert. He's basically a guy who only wears like he doesn't wear pants. He wears like a thong.
Hmm.
Um or not a thong, but like a swim trunks, like not the full swim trunks, but like the V-shaped swim
Like,
trunks.
okay, got it.
Yeah, he wears that and a shirt. That's all that he wears. He doesn't wear pants. And people call him like a pervert and like all that and stuff. And the thing is, like, so certain Japanese words, like I guess like pervert in Japan is hentai or something. I'm not really sure, but there's like some combination of words where they mention hen in something and then tai, but it's like in the Japanese language they mention something in that, and then so his selective hearing kind of like Buggy. He actually for some reason he hears hentai. He's like, and then in the translation it's like pervert. It's like, is someone calling me? Or did someone say hentai? So he's like, is someone calling this pervert or something? And so when they try to like do it in the American dub, it was a little hard because like in the American
Yeah.
dub, it's pervert. So it's like I don't know if they did some sort of like position reverse or something, and then he heard pervert. Maybe I forget what it was, but it wasn't like as
It
smooth
didn't
as
even
it was
sound
in the.
natural. It was just confusing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I guess like yeah, I think the Japanese subs or in the original Japanese, it might have been like better or something. But
I
yeah,
mean, I can't really blame them because also too, like when the voice actors are having to do it, they have to make sure that it matches up with the lip movement too. So they can't
yeah,
like
yeah,
like
yeah.
really stray from the path to make it make more sense anyway. So I get it, but it was just this was one moment where I was like, man, this had to have played better in like the actual sub.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like for instance, like anytime like in the English dub, they say gum gum, whatever, gum gum racket, uh, gum gum pistol
Yeah.
or whatever. In the Japanese, like voice in the original Japanese, it's like gumu gumu no and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like that.
Gotcha.
But
Well,
yeah, I mean the
yeah,
yeah,
another episode that ends on a cliffhanger, but
yeah.
obviously, really, obviously, you know that Luffy's not gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah. This yeah. It's kind of like, yeah, I mean, it's something that is something that's kind of like recurring in a lot of throughout the entire story, where you just like, oh, like he gets like fatal, but then again, it is like a different world, so I guess people are more durable in that different world.
Hmm.
So it's kind of crazy how like with what people endure in that world and how they survive it. People are like, how are they alive? But it's just that world. So I guess the
Yeah.
One Piece world, people are way more durable and sturdy and stuff. Like people will get slashed and like shot at, and
Oh,
it
and
like
they're way more sturdier too in the the Four Kids dub. They just never die. Period.
yeah, basically. Like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's like certain characters you think, oh, they've been like slashed and killed, and no, they're just like, no, they just recovered, they just rested and stuff. They actually kind of make fun of it in one of the episodes too. This is something that we'll never get to, but like, so like Luffy's all like injured, like he was in this big fight and he's all like injured and um like recovering and stuff. And, like he's like really injured. He's like he was beaten to a pulp, basically knocked out. And then pretty much like they said that like he's just been like eating, working, and he's like back to 100% in like 2 days, and everybody's like, what's up with his body? And it's not just Luffy, it's like this one other character who's also gotten like extremely beat up, and like both of them are just eating and then like working, and they like recovered in 2 days, and they're like, these guys aren't normal. But it's kind of funny, like so it's like Luffy and this one other guy, like they eat like a lot of food, and like in a cartoonish fashion, they're like really like they ballooned up, and then to kind of like digest everything, they just like suck in a lot of air and then blow out a lot of air, and then it just like digests everything, and they're just like, that's not how human bodies are supposed to work or something. So they kind of make fun of that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was yeah. There's a lot going on in that episode. I look forward to episode 6. Was there anything else you wanted to bring up different between the
um
two?
I mean, that's really it. Like, I was kind of surprised. Like, I mean, granted, like there wasn't anything too graphic that they had to censor too much. I mean, besides Buggy's body parts getting chopped up, but yeah, I think
Yeah.
overall, like, yeah,
And I
so
mean,
far,
they
yeah.
didn't really even censor that out because there was no blood. So I mean, I'm sure the the people at Four Kids were like, yes, we don't have to censor out anything in this scene.
Yeah, I yeah, I guess like I think in the next arc maybe, but I don't know. We'll get there when we get there. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah,
But yeah.
I'm looking forward to some heavy censorship, some really confusing stuff that makes no sense on Four Kids side that might make more sense when you explain it to me.
I'm actually like because of how many episodes there are in the Four Kids and how much they actually like finished up in the Four Kids. Like I think in total, I think Four Kids has like I think what like 100 something episodes, and the last
Yeah.
one is like that. But like in the regular anime, it's like they're nowhere near where each of them are. So yeah, I'll be very interested to see how much they condensed and how the episodes are.
Yeah. Should be
But yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Well, thanks for listening, everyone. And we will be back next week.
yep. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.